So I have a question. A lot of these students, they're in several extracurricular activities. After school, band, track, some of them play basketball, soccer's coming up. So everybody, it seems like, is a part of something outside of their academics. So how do you manage to maintain your spot on National Honor Society and do all the extracurricular activities that you do?
It's really just, you know, talk to your teachers, because a lot of people think that like your teachers are mean or won't like compromise with you. But say you're like in basketball or football and you tell your teacher, hey, here's my schedule. If something comes up, just make sure you have it in case. Like, so don't be afraid to talk to your teachers.
Anyone else?
Prioritize, because when you could be doing your homework and instead you want to be on your phone, you have to know what's more important. And I know after school when you have your practices and stuff like that, it's really harder, but if you can get your work done first and then socialize, then you'll be
A tip that I'd add would be like being organized. A lot easier. Like if you're unorganized, it's gonna be harder for you to even start your homework because you have to look for your homework. And then, like she said, prioritizing. Maybe get a planner to schedule. Like, okay, next week my essay due, so let me do a piece tonight, a piece tomorrow night, and then that way it won't seem like a whole essay is due the night before. Instead, you like did it piece by piece, so it doesn't seem that hard.
Anyone else? Come on, I know you all have some questions. Now's the time.
Do you guys have questions on clubs or sports? How many productions per year do you run in drama club? How many productions per drama?
Okay, we have a fall play and we have a spring musical. You can audition for both. And we also have a speech team, and that's like competitive acting in a sense. So like you get your event and then you work on it for your first like 2 months of school, and then you go out to competitions every Saturday. And we have this thing called PIR, which is performance and rounds. Like you do a 15-minute play in a circle, and you don't have to be part of the speech team to do that, but they would encourage you are. And we also have this thing called GI, or Group and Turf, which is another 30-minute play, but it's like on the stage and stuff with the set. And besides like the plays and stuff, we have like band puts on concerts like twice a semester about. We have an orchestra, choir, and show choir too.
Are any of you guys in band currently?
You said, is anybody in band?
Are you guys considering doing marching band? Yes. Good activity.
Was there step up night? Is there step up night? Next month. So like next month, Eisenhower has a step up night. So that's like when people are concerned about joining marching band, come in and like talk to our director about it and stuff like that. And also, if you aren't in band currently, you do not need to know how to play an instrument before coming to Eisenhower in order to do band. We have a preparatory band, so that's when you will learn how to play the instrument. And also, we have an orchestra one. We are the only school in our district to have an orchestra. So those are like the violins, the violas, and like cellos. You guys know what those are, like the big wind instruments. And yeah, you do not need to know how to read music or anything like that. You can come in and just start learning from the beginning of the year. It's one of your electives that you can take. You're offered 2 electives. We also have Yep.
One question about athletics and academics. How important is it to maintain academics in order to participate in athletics? We try to really make that important and let them know that that's how it's going to be in high school. So realistically, how important is it to keep your academics in order to play?
Isn't there always cycles out like every 2 weeks?
You have to be passing 5 out of your 7 classes. So if you have an F in 3 classes, you cannot play for a whole week. And I believe if you do it for 2 weeks, you're failing 3 classes for the rest of the season. You have to go to like this tutoring session, like after you get your lunch. So you don't want to do that. So just keep your grades up, and you should be fine. You get to play.
You should always be your academics before your sports. Your education comes first, so always remember that.
Also remember that coaches are different. If you're failing one class, they will sit you down, even if you're the best player on the team. I know to be ineligible, you have to be failing 2 classes, but every coach is different, and they take academics seriously, so don't play on.
The
students have questions.
Yep.
How often does your 16 go to competition?
They're really good.
Every weekend?
Yeah, we start competition, we usually start it in November, at the beginning of November, but recently, the past 2 years, we've been starting in October. So either the week before or the week of Halloween, you'll go to your first competition. And we pretty much from there, we go every Saturday. And each team is really, it's fun, but for every competition, you have to be at the school at 6 a.m. on the bus, ready to go to your competition. We get there, you warm up and everything, and then you have to find your rooms, because we you go to different rooms to compete in throughout the day. So it's a lot of fun, it's a lot of work. Our competition season starts around October, but you'll be practicing since like the 3rd or 4th week of school, because we have auditions like that second week you come in your freshman year.
Who had a state champion this year? Who had a state champion this year?
This year our speech program actually has had our first state champion ever in impromptu speaking. Her name was Akira Hawkins. She's actually part of NHS too, but she's not here today. She's a senior and she
Number one in her class.
yeah, number one in her class. So on top of that, so she's balancing like her schoolwork along with being in speech and taking on other extracurricular activities like NHS. And she just did athletes. She's in track. She's also in band too. She was in marching band. So it's like, it shows that you can still balance your extracurricular activities and do your work and still be doing really well. But you have to, like Maria said, others individuals, you have to manage your time.
Is there anything you guys are scared about going to high school? Because I know it's a big transition from like.
What are things you've heard about high school that you want?
How important is your ID in high school? I was just asking because we have a very tough problem. We try to teach them responsibility, keeping up with your ID because you're gonna need it in high school. They check it, but I mean, I would like for them to hear from you. I'm just to let them know I'm not making it up, you know.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't wear my ID all the time.
Okay.
But
They don't either, but you do have it.
I always have it on me. It's either in my wallet or like tied to my book bag, because there's gonna be some instances where you're gonna be late to class, and if you don't have an ID, you're gonna have to pay for a new one, which is $5 altogether, and that really adds up.
Oh, okay.
Have you guys heard about the penny thing?
Yes.
It's not real.
It's not real.
About
Unless
getting
it's your friend joking around and saying
it's not real. I never got hit with a penny.
Never had a penny card.
How long do you get between each class period, and what are the consequences for being late to class?
5 minutes and you're late 3 times, yeah.
And if you're charting for your
If you're late 3 times
yeah, you get like
after
a
school.
detention, and then if you miss your detention, you get a 3-hour detention, and if you miss that, then it turns into a whole.
Okay, by the way, detentions are 2 hours. So I don't think you want to.
Honor tests are really hard to do when people drop out, so like the first week they drop out.
Not necessarily. I went from having regular history classes to jumping to AP U.S. history, and it's really just taking your time and doing the work. Because like if you honestly just expect to go into the honors class, just pass it by doing nothing, it's not realistic. So just do your work.
Honors classes are not as hard when you know, or when you're keeping up with your stuff. Because we have notes, and honors AP classes probably have notes due every week or every other day, but you want to have all your stuff done so that after when you have your test, you're not behind everybody else. You want to know what you're talking about, and that's how honors classes work. Because they're higher levels, but they expect more of you. So if you're not ready to take an honors class, don't take an honors class.
All right, so maybe about 1 or 2 more questions, then we'll wrap it up. Albert?
Because in math they said we can't cheat.
You can. They're not gonna like mark you off for it, but I wouldn't advise it because a lot of times like you'll do work in class and your teacher will go back over the work and then you can like change your stuff and stuff like that, especially like mispractice assignments like homework and stuff like that.
One more, Shemaya?
Are all of the clubs temporary, like one season or all year round? Clubs are year-round.
Yeah, clubs are yeah. Clubs are year-round. Sports are temporary, like they have seasonal sports, and like some activities are seasonal too, but clubs are year-round.
She's saying honors courses go a little faster than a regular pace.
I know if you're a junior and you take honors math, it's 2 years of math and 2 semesters. Yeah. So it's basically half the pace for some classes, and for some it's the exact same thing. More math.
But don't discourage yourself when it comes to like taking honors classes and easy classes. Like if you have then like yeah, if you're determined and you have the motivation to do the class, then do it. Don't let anyone stop you from what you really want to do. Because obviously more honors classes or higher grades in honors classes, a better GPA kind of.
All right, well, we're gonna go ahead and get ready. Let's give our National Honor Society from Eisenhower another hand.